Good morning. Again, how y'all doing this morning? I'm back here this morning to give you a little brief synopsis of our trip to Indianapolis. We went out and played at Alcorn, and again, we didn't come out successful. You know, we ran into a few obstacles. First of all, to get there was an obstacle. But to say the least, we got there and started the game off again this week with a block punt. So that kind of put us behind the 8 ball again. But guys picked things up, man, and we fought pretty good there in the first half. We decided that we was going to pound them a little bit, and Justin Kelly came out the game with a pretty decent game, you know, and also played Noble Johnson. Finally got Noble into the game, and Noble came in and did some pretty good things. But unfortunately for us, we didn't do as well receiving this week. You know, DJ made some throws and hit some people in the hands, and you know the ball got away from him for whatever reason it be. But I made a decision there in the game that I was going to take him out so that he could get a chance to look at the situation, see how things were going, and you know, see how they were blitzing him and you know, trying to, you know, dog him and run little stunts inside. And it helped him. You know, it did help him, and also let him know that, you know, sometimes you got to pull that thing down and run. And it helped him, but once again, we didn't hold on to the ball in crucial times that we should have. And once again, I'm gonna say defense played well. And I know for all this stats buffs, they say, well, the score was 48-0. Yeah, but a lot of times your offense puts your defense in bad situations. You know, and I'm a football coach, and, you know, I preach this to the defense. I don't care where they get the ball. Your job is to stop them. But, you know, realistically, you know, sometimes, you know, they had a good field goal kicker. Man, I mean, you know, if the kid keep kicking the ball, there's no telling what his future might hold because he was kicking it high and far. You know, so when you get it on the short field, you know, you almost guaranteed 3 points. And we missed one again with Wallace, and you know, I got faith in Wallace. He's a freshman, you know, and you throw him in that heat sometime, man, and you know, when you're having a season like we having, you know, he feels that pressure that we all talk about. Even though, you know, I tell him all the time, pressure, you combat pressure with preparation. And we prepare every week. That's one thing I can say about those guys. They come every week to practice, and they come to work. Now, a lot of times they don't retain all of the assignments and things that we would like to have them to retain, but you know, they're there. But I think, I know this week we're gonna kind of shake things up a little bit. You know, we're gonna give a few other guys opportunities to do some things. You know, to say the least. You know, we got them, we carry them every week. So, you know, and they practice hard every week, so they deserve a try. We got 5 more games left, and believe it or not, you know, we still sitting in a situation where if we get somebody to help us with, who is it, Alabama State, or one of them, I don't know for sure right off the top of my head on our side, somebody help us out with them, we could still slide in the back door, you know. And there's one thing about me, if you guys haven't learned that yet, hey, Coach Rags got faith, man. And I believe, and I played with faith, you know, until it's time on the clock, hey, I'm going to keep working. And as long as there's games on the schedule, we're going to keep working. Now, to give you a few stats on our defense, you know, I sit here and say it week in and week out. You can tell a good defense when you look at the stats. You know, when you see that your linebackers are leading in tackles, now you know that somebody's doing something up front, you know what I mean, to enable those linebackers to run and make the hits, you know. And again this week, we got Orosaki, 9. We got Smith, David with 8, and we have Breed with what Breed has. Breed he has 2 solos but 9 assists. So you know my linebackers are the 3 top tacklers again. So that's letting me know this. That at least the defensive line is getting in the gaps and things, and you know, boggling them up so that those linebackers can run and make hits. The only thing I really have to stress with my defense a little bit more is we don't get pressure all the time like we should. You know, a lot of times those guys make plays where, hey man, that quarterback should have been on the ground, but for whatever reason it be, you know, we don't get the pressure consistently that we need to get up front. So that's what happened to us this week in a nutshell. But you can rest assured we'll be at Jackson, is it? And we'll be fighting, and we'll get that victory. You know, that's all we're going to talk about this week is the chance of getting that victory. So as long as I can keep those guys coming to practice, and they can see the positive things in me. You know, trying to interject it in them. Yeah, they're gonna get it sooner or later. They're gonna get it. All right, now we had a long trip, so I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you I know everything it is about Jackson, because I don't. We got in here last night, probably about 8, I think it was, and you know, really we downstairs this morning where my coaches are. You know, looking at their film and you know trying to reiterate their mind on, you know, last week, because at the end of the week we get a little brief synopsis from our GAs on the team that we're going to play, you know, the team that's coming up for us to play. So we're downstairs now trying to get that done. And unfortunately, I had a meeting this morning at 7:30, so I haven't had a chance to do my homework, you know, but you can rest assured we're going to get the homework done and come up with a game plan and going to be much more respectful than we've been the last 2 weeks.
You said you're going to shake things up. What do you mean? Who's coming in? What type of changes are you looking at?
Oh, well, I'm going to play some different people at receiver, and you know, we're going to have to play a few different linemen because we got 2 of them hurt.
More specifically, though, guys, names?
Some receivers. I know you want some names, man, but you know what? I want the people to come to the game. Come watch, you know, and you know, you're a pretty good guy. So, you know, I'm going to say receivers. You know the receivers I've been playing. You can give them the name. Okay. So I'm going to be playing some different ones.
Fair enough.
All right.
Coach, Justin Kelly, 88 rushing yards this week. Do you feel you made the right move of getting him the ball for the carries?
Man, without a doubt. Where you get 88 from? Oh, yeah, they net 88. Okay, all right. See, us coaches, we look at the big numbers. Yeah, he lost 11. Oh.
You good?
Okay. We lost 11 yards there, so yeah, he wound up with 88. Yeah, I did the right thing. Now, but the thing with Justin is, you know, Justin's a rookie man. He's a bull, you know, and Justin tried to do a little too much every now and then, because sometimes, you know, he got away from the things we talk about in practice all along. When I first started the game, I wanted to punish them DBs. I wanted to punish them when they come up tackling me. But Justin came up in there a couple of times. He was trying to be what running back can I think of? He was trying to be like Barry Sanders. He wanted to miss a man and get gone. When you know, early on for us, you know, they 2 big guys, him and Noble, and their strengths are pounding them cats. And then in the second half of the game, you know, it's a lot easier. He'll get those big runs. But yeah, I did the right thing playing Justin.
You said you wanted to take DJ out for a second to give him some perspective. So do you foresee playing 2 quarterbacks this week again?
Oh, I don't have to let practice dictate that. Because, see, number one, I'm not afraid of Jonathan. But, you know, the thing that I've been telling our fans in the media all year long, DJ throw the ball. But if they watching the game, they see people drop the ball. So, you know, do I bench a guy that's putting the ball on people and they're dropping it? You know, that's benching him for their shortcomings. You know what I'm saying? And he can't throw it and catch it too.
Coach, you said the defense has gotten better, but again, they're giving up over 500 yards, almost 300 rushing. What do you see in the defense that when you say that they got better?
Well, for 2 of those weeks, they were giving up 600 yards. And you know, as a coach, you got to look at it objectively, is where people are getting the football. And then a bunch of those yards, they're at the end of the game. You know, where the teams are up on us by, like this week, they up on us by 34 to nothing in the 4th quarter. So they turn number 1 loose on us. You know what I mean? Yeah, they don't want to throw the ball unless it's 3rd and 8 or something like that. They might throw a little short pass to try to move the chains, but they really want to grind it out and control the clock. So of course they're gonna amass some yards toward the end of the game. That's where a lot of that comes from. But see, like Kelly's yards, them true yards, they were in the grudge time of the game. You know what I mean? When you still got a chance, and you know you believing that you got a chance. You know.
The trips, you're talking about the bus rides to Kansas City, the bus ride to Indianapolis. Do those things start to wear on a team? How do you kind of keep them fresh? I know you're only going to Jackson, Mississippi this week, but another road game, this week.
Oh man, going to Jackson would be like going to the park, like us going from here to Ruston. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's one thing I tell you about my team, they road ready now. Because, you know, I realize too, you know, it has some effect on what's going on. But the bottom line is we play a tough man's sport. So, you know, when it's tough out there, the tough guys got to get going. And it is what it is, man. You know, we knew what the schedule was, and, you know, we knew we was going to have to ride the bus, so that's what we did.
Coach, 2 third-down conversions on the whole day. Do you attribute that to all the drop passes?
I contribute somewhat to the drop pass, and then for the stats people, boy, I try to stay ready for you guys. Because, you know, I broke that thing down. You know, I looked at the drive chart, man, and we had what? The first time we got the ball, we fumbled, of course. They got it, and they scored. The next time we had it 2 and out. And the out was we threw an interception. Okay, you know, I think now I look at it. You know, DJ had it to do again. He probably wouldn't have threw it over there. You know what I mean? But you know, you're getting pressure sometime, and you know, you peep out there, and you know, you have faith in you your guys. You know, in your quarterback, and he might have not should have threw it I think he was trying to get it to Chester at that particular time. You know, Chester has been pretty good for us, you know, catching 10, 9, 8 balls, but at that particular time he shouldn't. Then we came back. We went 3 and out. You know, we had 3 and out. We had 8 of those. 8 times we had 3 and punt. All right? We had 4 and out. 4 plays and out. We had 1. 5 and out. We had 1. 11 play drive. We had 1. No points. This was Jonathan. 11 plays. You know, I'm feeling good now. We're finally getting a little consistency. You know what I mean? And this was Jonathan's drive, though. This was after the right before halftime. But we wound up with a 4th and 14. And I know people say, man, why you on 4th and 14? You got to. Hey, if you ain't got no guts, there ain't no glory sometimes. You know, they was taking that ball, we was giving it to them on the short end of the field, and you know they was pounding us, they was hurting us. So I said, hey man, you know my guys are gonna stand up and beat me in one day. So hey, I'm gonna let them know I got faith in them. So I went for it. Unfortunately, Jonathan should have threw the thing away, but you know I hate to see my quarterbacks get beat up, but Jonathan was gonna try to make it happen, and he wound up getting sacked. All right, then first half we came back, man, after they had scored. It was 10-0. Matter of fact, we put together a 12-play drive. You know, working. You know, Kelly running that thing like nobody's business, man. I mean, running through people, over people. No points. We lined up to kick the field goal, and you know we didn't make it. So you know, there we go again. You know, we had a good drive, something to feel good about yourself, and we come up with nothing. But, you know, that's it in a nutshell, man. When you look up here with 8 3 and outs, man, you know, that's kind of sums it up for you.
You mentioned that you're staying positive so that reflects on the team so they can see you upbeat with a smile on your face thinking, you know, you can get a win. So how do you try to instill confidence in the team other than that in terms of letting them know that you have the confidence in them that they can win?
Hard work, man. Hard work. You know, not only letting them know I got confidence in them, but instilling in them every day. If you keep working hard, something good gonna happen for you. But you know, you got to make it happen. So I stress to those guys every week. You know, you can get out there and right before the game, you know, both teams pray and all that. I said, but you know what the Lord do for you? The Lord give you opportunities. You know, you got to make it happen. You got to put in the work. You got to bear the fruit, in other words. So, you know, I just can't, as long as they come to practice, we're going to give them a game plan, and hopefully we're going to get more and more of them believing in the game plan and trying to execute it.
Normally, when a team runs the ball as effectively as you guys, for the most part, have, they're able to get some consistency on offense and move the ball and give their defense help. But it's not the same for you guys. How can you fix that?
I'm going to shake some folks up. You know, the bottom line, you know, in those same 2 drives I was talking about, you know, if you look at the drive, the positive plays were the runs. When we tried to do something with the pass, we fumbled. You know, for whatever reason, we didn't connect with the passes. But I'm gonna send them a message, you know, and my guys, I think they understand. Coach Rags is a realist. You know, you got to be accountable. And see, I'm gonna set them over there with me. You know, not that I won't play them, but they're not gonna be starting and running in and out of the game and not producing. You know, I'm gonna give them a look. It's a game, but you know, I'd like to take this game and interject life to them guys. You know, you cannot pay your bills 2 months in a row. Somebody gonna come knock on your door. So you know, you drop this ball out here 2 games in a row, Coach Rags gonna knock on your door. You know, he gonna be over here with me. You know, not saying that you won't get a chance to go. You just might have to pay some interest. And the interest will be a couple of catches for him.
Coach, at the beginning of the season, DJ, his touchdown to interception ratio was really good.
Yeah.
Over the last 3 weeks, it's been the opposite. Do you think the bad season is kind of frustrating him, forcing him to make bad throws and bad reads?
I think he's trying too hard. You know, because for one, you know, like I said, I have some guys that's playing their butts off. Tyree Hollis, man, play his butt off every week. You know, DJ play his butt off. You know, but he cannot throw the football and catch it too. You know, and you know, if DJ had another name, people they probably would be thinking different about DJ. You know what I'm saying? But man, DJ throw the football. I don't have any. Only qualms I have about DJ sometimes is I think he need to pull it down and run a little bit more. But sometimes I'd be afraid for him to do that because he don't know how to slide. I mean, he think he's a fullback when he running. Man, that joke is 6'4", 6'5", and actually weighed 210 pounds, but don't look it because he's tall. Man, they'll bend him up like a church fan. You know, I try to tell him, you got to slide feet first, man. When you slide feet first, the official's your buddy. But when you're going head first, the official say you're a fullback.
I know you said you haven't had a lot of time to look at a lot of the X's and O's, but Jackson State 5-0 in the SWAC, you know, one of their best starts since 1995. So what are some of the challenges of going on the road to play a team like that?
It should be easy to motivate my guys. You know, here goes somebody that's 5-0. You know, if you're a real man, you're a real football player, wouldn't it be great to beat them? Wouldn't it be great? See, those are the kind of challenges, you know, I love, you know, and I know I can't play no more. But you know, man, hey, look here. That was the stuff I used to feast on. Hey, they the best in our division, right? So if I whoop that butt, what that mean? We coming. It definitely don't mean we the best now because you can look at our record, but you can say we coming.
I'm not a big one to compare, but at the same time, we were talking pre-press conference about ULM's game, the 2 interceptions back for touchdowns, and it's that kind of spark that could maybe save their season. Right. Will it take something to that dramatic for Grambling to maybe turn things around as well?
Oh, yeah, man. Most definitely. If we could get, man, we had the opportunity to get 2 interceptions last game, but, you know, they bounced off the DB's hands and got away, but the DB had made a great play, you know, to break it up. I wish he had caught it, but he didn't. But can you imagine if one of our guys, or 2 of them, it don't have to be the same guy, just pick that thing off and take it all the way to the house. I would definitely hope that it would motivate that offense to let them know, hey, we playing defense and scoring, you know. So, hey, why can't you guys step up and play? And you know, Tyree, man, he comes off the field after playing his defensive position. He on every special team. And I watch him come off the field sometime and go to them before they come on and say, come on, man, let's score.
Jackson State has a mobile quarterback. He can run and pass. What are some of the threats of that, and especially for a defense that you said isn't getting much pressure What are some of the things that you'll look at this week with that?
Well, the number one thing we got to stress to our defense is assignment football, because see they like their offense basically, man. I seen them a few times on TV. You know, they like most of the offenses in the SWAC. They gonna run the read option, and the guy's a good passer. You know what I'm saying? He's not a thrower. He's a passer. So, we gonna have to be on top of our defensive game. And believe it or not, our defense is probably better in the back end than they are up front. But they had to cover so long back there. Sometimes we don't get to the guy. But as far as his running and things, those guys play their gaps and and read their keys. We should be pretty much in position to make we got to make the tackles. We missed a few tackles also, but be pretty much in position to make the plays. They just got to make them. So the number one thing I'm really concerned about, old boy, is he ain't a bad runner either. You look at him, man, and everybody say he ain't fast. He ain't fast, but the chain still be moving. So we got to do our assignments, play good assignment football.
I know it's not Southern, but how big of a rivalry game is this?
Man, every game is a rivalry for Grambling. See, every game is a rivalry for Grambling. Because, I tell my guys this too. I say, you might not think so. And I know these guys you playing are y'all age, but they coaches, you got to think, they getting coached also. They coaches our age, and they done been around the SWAC. I said, you guys getting beat for years past when Grambling was the macho. See, so them cats, they don't be calling, look, you think they called them dogs off us up that Saturday? Man, it was 34 to something. I said, well, they ain't going to throw it no more. Next thing I know, So, hey, man, I tell my guys, listen, it's a lesson in this for you. When you get your head out the sand, you kill a gnat with a sledgehammer. Don't you forget what you've been going through.
Coach, is there how do you feel about them scheduling Grambling for homecoming? Is that something you tell the team getting fired up?
Every coach try to use that, man. But I'm this type of coach. Every football game you should be fired up. See, people talk about motivation and this and that and the other. But look, motivation to me, and I try to stress it to my young guys, is having the ability to play this game. See, so many people would love to play this game. But see, sometimes when you get involved in the mask and you get out here on campus and they be telling you how great you are, you think you don't have to play. I have conversations with a lot of my, especially my running backs now. See, my running backs is some guys that are not afraid of a challenge, because they still come to my office. Some of them cats, they'll walk right by that office because, see, they know if I come up in there, Coach Rad might not say what I want to hear, but he's going to say what you need to hear. But hey, man, walk around on campus and you haven't won a game, that'll be motivation enough for me to get myself right. You know what I mean? See, I try to tell them, this is a class. For the freshmen, it's one-on-one football. For the sophomores, it's 2-on-1 football. I don't have many 4-on-1 players, seniors. But, I'll be still trying to get them to stand up and lead. I got 2, though. They're not boisterous leaders, though. They lead by example. And a lot of times, guys, guys don't pick it up by example. See, sometimes when you're up in the room, you're talking with your fellas, your camaraderie, it ain't bad to say, hey, man, what was you doing on that block, man? Who did you block when I was running this ball? See, players will get players to play quicker than coaches. See, they expect for us to be crucial and critical. But, you sitting down there with your buddy doing whatever they do when they ain't here, and he said, man, you ain't blocking nobody. Now, before you know it, he wanted, what are you talking about? You know what I'm talking about. But see, that's what I try to encourage my guys. That's being a leader. I might not be liked, but I'll be respected.
At 0-7, in your opinion, what's the number one reason for the start to the season?
That's the number one reason. It's not one. It's several.
But if you can pinpoint the biggest reason for me.
Well, it's the change that we made. See, think about young people. And from August till, what was it, September, whenever they let Doug go, they was focused and in that, how Coach wanted them to go. Now, all of a sudden, you change in the middle of the stream. And I'm not saying it was wrong or it was right. It was what was done. But you're still dealing with young people. Now, they got it's Grambling State coached by George Ragsdale. You know, a little different personality, a little bit, hey, let's go get it. I ain't laid back. You know, I'm a cat that, hey, man, you got to go get it, play fast, let's do this. So they got to get used to that. And more and more of them are getting used to that in practice. Us practicing fast, doing things fast, you know. So the mindset of the people that I'm dealing with is the toughest thing, man. Because it's a change for them, believe it or not, even though it wasn't a big major, well, it was a big major change. I'm not even going to say that. Because it's the mental part of the game, and as jokers learn as they go up the ladder, football is 75% mental. See, because when you get to the NFL, shit, you're going to hit somebody, or you're not going to be there. You have to take 75% of that preparation time to understand the schemes and the people that you're playing. See, so when you're in college, I try to teach these guys, this is a class. You know, yes, it's a game, but it's a class that you got to learn what a 4-3 is. You know, how they cover the gaps, what a 3-4 is, how they cover the gaps. Cover 4, cover 3. You know, when I go out there and line up after the ball snap, the first thing I tell my guys all the time, pre-snap read. Get a pre-snap read so you can see what they're doing. Now, I know what I got to do on this play. You know, because plays are designed, man. If everybody do their job, they're 1/11. If everybody do that, you should be able to run the football straight down the field. Don't make no cuts or none of that, because everybody going to double team, do their block, you can run. But people play the game. People make mistakes. So therefore, that's when your athletic ability needs to come on.
Did you notice that change right away when Doug was fired with the players?
Yeah, I noticed it. You know, I was coaching. Now, don't forget, I had a segment. You know, and one thing about me and my guys, we discuss things. You know, and you know, of course, my guys, they were happy for me, but they were sad for Coach. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was a mixed emotion. That's a mixed bag right there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they hey, man, it's tough. It's almost like a divorce. I put it like that. You know, if you're a child in a family and there's a divorce, you're kind of confused, ain't you? I don't know whether I want to be with mama or I don't know whether I want to be with daddy. But I'm both of their babies. You know what I'm saying? Or both of their childs. So, you know, it takes that child some time to really settle in and say, well, boom, mom and daddy just couldn't get along together, but they still both great people. So he don't say daddy bad or mama bad. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. You know, if you can understand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, what's going on with Cedric Skinner?
Sure, my boy, look here. My horse hurt, man. You know, hey, my horse hurt. And he don't even know when he hurt. You know what I'm saying? See, Cedric Skinner is one of the most throwback cats. You look at him, you don't see no pads on Cedric Skinner, but what the equipment man issued, he ain't got no arm pads, no gloves, no spats, no this, no that. That sucker come to play. I wish I had more Cedric Skinner, but I had to leave Cedric Skinner home, because if I'd have took Cedric Skinner with me, he'd have been walking up and down the sideline. Coach, I'm ready. Coach, I can help. I said, man, I ain't gonna have you walking up worrying me. But it's not a worry. I love that about him, though. But, you know, hopefully, I'm hoping I get him back this week, because, see, it's a difference in him and Kelly. You know, and Kelly tried to be a little Skinner a little bit sometimes, sir, because he, you know, rather than just killing some of them jokers sometimes, like I know he can, he tried to make a little bit more yards by a little shape. That Skinner can do those kind of things. But, yeah, man, Skinner's a little hurt, man. And he probably, if he hear this right here, he going to say, Coach, why you telling him I was hurt? But, you know, it's the truth.